Hi everybody, in this tutorial we're going to be discussing cartoon faces and how to draw the front view of a character and then make variations. So let's plan a layout to draw a cartoon face. So we're going to start with a circle. Try to do a decent sized circle so you have room to play, maybe about 3 inches big. Let's find the center of the circle and we're going to draw a vertical line going down, cutting the circle in half. We're also going to draw a horizontal line. Now we're going to cut it into fourths. And then between the center and the bottom of the circle, let's do another parallel line. What we're going to do is we're going to label these. So that the middle line is going to be where the brow or the eyebrows are. The second one is going to be where the eyes are located. And at the very bottom of the circle is where we're going to locate the nose. Okay, now we're going to start with some eyes. I think that's a good idea. I'm going to start with pretty much like an oval or a circle. I'm going to go on that one. I'm going to try to balance it out on the other side. And my job is I'm going to look to keep about an eye in between the two eyes for spacing. Once that's done, I can bring in my iris and pupil, and I can also outline like the upper half of my circle here. It gives some like depth to the eye. So I'm going to start with a circle inside and then a smaller circle inside of that. And if I go heavy on one side of that pupil area, I can create a little bit of a highlighted edge. So again, I'm circling the top half, getting a little stronger with that of the eye, the major eye shape. And I'll show you why later. Now we're going to do the eyebrow. Eyebrow can be done angular or curvy. I'm going to go curvy with mine, and it's going to basically move with the shape of the top of the eye, curve with it. You can do whatever you'd like here. Again, variation is key, but we have to have good structure first. And now we're going to go to the nose. So it's centered down that line. Think of a diamond kind of pyramid shape. I'm going to point down, up, kind of like a relaxed V, and then bring it up like that. For a simple nose, I'm going to do some parentheses on the outside, kind of like that, these little curved. And then I'm going to curve the bottom edge like this, almost wave-like, to create the bottom of the nose. And I'm going to curve up the top a little bit. I'm actually adding a little shading there for some depth. And I'm going to create the bridge of the nose on one side just with a little flick of a line offset there to describe the movement of the nose up. So now the next step, we're going to create the jaw and the rest of the face. Now, if I move off the edges of the face and kind of bend down and diagonally, I can start to create the jawline. And if I turn in rather quickly towards the center, right there, I'm marking a center, I get a very youthful appearance of a child or even of a baby. But if I want more of an adult, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off the side of the face again, and I'm going to bring down the jawline to start a little later, and then come a little steeper with the jawline there, and then drop it to the chin. And I'm going to have a more adult face. So we're going to go with an adult face for this demo to begin with. So I'm going to erase that original jawline I had. That would have given me a more youthful look. Now we have a completely different look than the last one. Halfway between the bottom of the nose and the chin, I can establish where my mouth is going to be. Here's a trick to getting a mouth width. If I go to the center of the eyes and I slope a triangle across the outer edges of the nostrils, it gives me a great width for like how wide my mouth could be. Again, this is cartooning, can vary, so you can do a lot of different mouth styles. But here I'm just going to go with an average one, and I'm going to bring a little bit of a shape down there to accent the lower lip. Again, there's a lot of variety to this, but if we go standard like this, we could always play after that. I'm going to erase some of my original sketching just to flesh out the character and get rid of some of that. Next, we're going to move to ears. Good rule of thumb is the ears should be towards the top of the eye. So I'll make a mark about there, and then towards somewhere like level with the middle of the nose. Again, they can vary. I'm just going to slope out and curve back in. I'm going to match that up on the other side there, slope out and curve back in. And I can give these little accent lines here to show the ridge of how the ear flaps in. Now we're going to work on hairstyle. So I'm going to move up from the ear and flute out or flare out the hairline starting there. Hairstyle, you can research a lot of different types, but I'm going to do this kind of parted hairstyle, flicking there. So I found my part set off to the right side, make where my part is, move that out, flute it out, and shoot it back towards the ears. A couple accent lines to show the movement of the hair there is all that's needed. Lastly, we're going to move on to neck. Again, I can do a really wide neck. I can do more of an average medium neck, or I can do a little bobblehead neck. I'm just going to show you there's differences. Some can just offer a much. I'm going to do more of the one right in the middle, more balanced one like that. It gives it a youthful adult appearance there as well. Kind of flare that out. Now I'm just going to go back and kind of touch up any angles that I felt needed to be adjusted. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flick a line there to support a cheek structure. That's why I didn't completely finish the circle there, but you can do whatever you'd like. This was just something to really help with you getting a beginning structure to a face. Use some of my shading techniques to add a little bit of depth and detail and texture to my face. So that's a starter face. Now we can do some variety. Part two, I'm going to do a female face. So we're going to go through very much the same structure. So this is going to be a review from what you just did. I'm going to break it up so I can locate my eyebrow, eyes, and nose. I'm going to do a little something different here with the eyes. I'm going to kind of flare out these ovals, like out, like as they have them move out to the outer edges of the head. And again, I want to have a general amount of space in between the two eyes. That would be like a third eye. The eye here, I'm going to do kind of a crescent moon shape here. Again, I'll do different tutorials on eyes, nose, and mouth for cartooning, but here is just about structure. I'm going to do some curvy eyebrows, not too angular. Again, I'm going to accent those eyes there. And now I'm going to do eyelashes. I'm going to flick them out. Okay, this is an attribute of a female, so it would help give that feminine look. Some people draw straight eyelashes. There's nothing wrong with that, but I want something a little bit more elegant, so I'm flicking out. And I'm doing about 3 of them. Nose, I'm going to make the nose a little tinier than what I did in the last character. Give it more of a kind of like a pixie-like nose there. So a little less detailed. And now when the face comes in, the jaw's gonna slope in a little bit quicker than the male's, and it's gonna be slightly more rounded as I work through the curves on it too. Here I want to adjust the chin a little bit higher on my sketch. I felt like it was a little too long. Gives it more of the roundness that most female faces have. I'm going to use that center point between the eyes and slope them around the nostrils to get mouth. I'm going to bring an upper lip in there with just a little bit of a kind of a relaxed letter M and then a curvy line to suggest the bottom lip. Ears, I'm going to tuck them in just like I did with the male character, really quick. Just a little accent there for a little detail in the ear shape. Now I'm starting to really get the look of a female. I'm going to do more of a medium slender neck as well. And I'm going to part my hair in the middle. So I'm going to go to the middle of the hair. I'm going to bring this down. Again, you can look at hairstyles. I'm even going to supply a list so you can kind of get something to work from. The hair is going to come down. I'm going to do this little all-important flip at the end for this hair to give a little dimension to it. Maybe a couple expressive lines showing the movement. What I can do is do some supporting details here. Say I wanted to give her some jewelry. I can put in some, let me just clean up. I can put in some earrings here. Again, that's something that is more attributed to the female. So, so that's something I can do as well. So just a couple circles for those. And then maybe a little necklace here as well. Give myself a guide. Throw a couple little gems, jewels, or pearls. And I'm also going to give her some shoulders here. And again, the shoulders are small and short, gives her that cartoonish look. So again, you can play around with so many different stylizations, but this is a great like template to start with. Now part 3, we're going to do a little bit of face variation. So on this one, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm still going to start with my circle, but I'm going to find the center as well. But instead of having the eyebrows lower, I'm going to put the eyebrows way up here. I'm going to put the eyes there, and I'm going to put the nose there. So I'm changing it up, which will give me a completely different styled look to a character. This is super important. I'm even going to change the look of the eyes. I'm going to kind of do an orange slice type eye, like that. Slope and cut off the bottom like that. And I'm even going to create some look like a kind of a tired or like a more relaxed face. So I'm going to put some eyelids emanating there. Those are my eyes kind of creeping in there looking down. I'm going to make the eyebrow a little more angular, so it's going to go up in a quick drop down. Up, quick drop down. Put in some features of a extra eyelid. Nose is going to be generally the same. I'm going to create just a little wider. I'm going to create some parenthesis edges around, slope that down. So very similar to my first character, just a little bit of a wider nose. On here, I'm just going to do that little humped top to create like a large center to the nose. A little bit of a line there for the brow. So again, I can look at the, make a point between the center of my eyes right there and slope it down across the nostrils. That's how wide I might want to go with it. So I can do a little kind of curvy line there, look, give the guy a smug look. There we go. Now what I could also do is, this is what's fun, I can give him like a look like he's whistling just by putting a little dot with a couple parentheses around. Give him a little extra chin there. But I can also change it up, and I'm just going to do pretty much a diagonal line that cuts across with a finish to the mouth. Give a little line there. So he's got a little bit, again, of a different type of a smug, indifferent look. Because I'm going to make him kind of a burlier guy, I'm going to give him some really little ears, just to kind of like play against that. Like, you know, he's a burlier guy. I'm going to give him little ears for some fun. And I'm going to give him a very rounded face. Very rounded face, very full face. Accentuates the laugh lines based off those lines I use to kind of figure out where I want my mouth to be. And I'm going to accentuate the brow there, and I'm going to make him like having some hair on the sides, but have him bald on top. So I'm just going to put a little hair there and just continue the top of the circle as well. Playing with hairstyles is fun. Or putting accessories like hats on and things like that is great too. I can give him a neck like that, a neck like that. You know, it's good to look at a couple. I'm going to give him a wider neck. Being a burlier guy, I'm going to give him a wider neck. And there you go. That's how I established a nice variation. Play around. Try different styles of eyes, nose, mouths, ears, features of the face, and you can create your own characters. Good luck.